Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video on the Muslim community's response to me leaving Islam. Well, I wanted to say, first of all, here in Canada, I live in a pretty big city, pretty multicultural place, and overall, I have to say that the Muslim community has responded primarily with, first of all, sadness. Second of all, second reaction might be anger. And the third reaction, yeah, that's basically it. So sometimes people, message me and they say, be safe. And I have to tell them that, you know what, like I am safe. Like I'm in where I live in Canada, Muslim community, nobody wants to hurt me, nobody wants to kill me, none of that stuff. This is what happened. When I left Islam 1 year ago, I did it very publicly. I started posting things on Facebook, and first of all, people were like, "What? Like, are you having some doubts? And you should go talk to a sheikh, and you shouldn't post these things because you're gonna confuse people." And I was like, no, I feel like these things make sense to me. I'm not trying to clarify. I'm sharing. These are the points that I'm seeing that make sense to me, and you're welcome to discuss with me if you don't agree. But I'm not trying to clarify my doubts, so to speak. Like I'm not posting on Facebook in order to receive group therapy, why it's, but I don't mind discussing, like I'm open to discussion. But I felt confident that the things I was posting were correct. At one point, I had a friend message me and say he almost became atheist himself. He was a Muslim guy and he wanted to discuss with me. A nice guy. So at that point, I actually deleted all my posts that I had online because I'm like, hey, maybe he knows something that I don't know, I didn't think about, and I don't want to confuse people. So I deleted everything. And we met and we discussed for a long time, and I understood that based on a long discussion, 5 hour talk we had together, that he decided to be Muslim because the things he wasn't able to explain or reconcile, he put them aside, and he said, I'm gonna put these aside, I'm gonna believe. And basically Pascal's wager, I don't want to risk it, just in case. If I'm wrong, I don't want to go to hell forever. And my perspective is there's no need for Pascal's wager. We can find out right now what makes sense, what is correct. Is Islam true? Is Christianity true? Is nothing true? We can find out. We can investigate. We can come to a good conclusion right now. And I don't think that there's any point living in doubt. Like a lot of people I know, either Muslim or ex-Muslim, a lot of them are very confused and they don't bother looking into it. They just stay with the doubts, or they feel like I don't really understand this, but I'm just gonna ignore it and just leave it in the back of my mind. And I've even once met a guy that told me he's kind of like atheist, kind of Muslim for like a couple of years now, and I don't understand why, these people don't look into it and research and read. And the solution for doubt is knowledge. So do the research, try to find out for yourself what makes sense, and you'll find the more you read, one side will become more clear to you, and you'll get to the point where I am now, where it's like almost impossible that Islam is true. I just cannot imagine in any way whatsoever. And when people want to, discuss these like scientific miracles, and it's just like, okay, so there's something in the Quran that's like maybe, correct. Does that mean the whole thing is true? Like, it's just so many holes from my perspective that I don't really see the point of, going back to these small points. But when you're in the middle, you're like you get really confused. Even some people leave Islam and then like, oh no, actually, I understand that Adam and Eve make sense because maybe they had twins and the two twins had children. It's like these strange explanations to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense, and then they're like, okay, maybe I can be Muslim again. But I'm so past that. Anyways, I'm kind of going off topic. I wanted to talk about the Muslim community. So for 1 year, people were very sad. One of my friends even said, "Oh, I thought you're doing a social experiment on, pretending to leave Islam or something just to see how people react." And I'm like, no, it's true actually. And overall, like I said, I had people invite me to conferences and to read this book and read that book and read that article, and what I found is that for the most part, the vast majority of people, well, they're just like they don't want to get involved, and they'll just act like nothing happened, and it's kind of awkward. Like, I even went camping with a bunch of Muslims after I left Islam. I'd booked it beforehand, And most of them were like acting like nothing happened, but it was like they know I'm not Muslim, and it's just like, it's a pink elephant in the room, like nobody's talking about it. It's like almost the same experience like if someone died in your family, or your mom got cancer or something, God forbid, and they don't know what to say. They're just like they just act like normal. So that's kind of like the experience I had. 1 year after leaving Islam, I decided to make a video, and my first video ever on why I left Islam. At that point, the video went sort of viral, it went all over the place, and a lot of views, and then when that happened, I got people from Saudi Arabia and Bangladesh and Pakistan, and that's when I started to get death threats for the first time. In a matter of a week, there was like, I don't know, 70,000 video views, and I got around, I wasn't, in the beginning, I wasn't even paying attention and keeping track of it, but it kept happening so many times. In the beginning, first of all, the people kept calling me a Jew and saying I was a fake ex-Muslim and I never was Muslim in the first place. Then once they got past that, when they realized, okay, this guy was actually Muslim, then they started saying, a lot of people started saying I should be killed or I deserve to die. Not necessarily death threats, but kind of like, you deserve to die because you're not Muslim and you're speaking against Islam. So just to clarify, for 1 year, no death threats. I was constantly discussing on Facebook, and then I even made a blog because I kept discussing the same things over and over again. So I said, okay, let me make a blog. That way, I can just refer people to just see the blog. And in 1 year of having a blog, nobody bothered me, nobody threatened me. But once I made the video, that's when the death threats started to come. And, I made a post out of it. I got 27 of them on there. And I didn't even, like I said, I missed a bunch of them too. And they're not all death threats. Some of them are just like, you deserve to die, which is kind of like in a passive aggressive way. If somebody kills you, it would be okay because you don't deserve to live. And then other people said, well, you're in a non-Muslim country. If you're in a Muslim country, you deserve to die. And, some people even went further than that and said, I'm going to come to Canada and kill you. Like, one Egyptian guy said that. So it's not that leaving Islam can be pretty safe, but if you criticize Islam, then you're putting your life in your hand. And the thing is, leaving Islam is a very difficult thing to do because usually your family will, either abandon you or kick you out. If you're in the closet, as the vast majority of my ex-Muslim friends are in the closet, and you are living at home, don't tell your family. If you're married and you're an adult, be very careful telling your spouse. Think about it carefully. You may not want to tell them, actually. You may want to just, test the waters, and you may not want to break up your family over this. Okay? So my advice to people, don't come out unless you're confident that you can live with the consequences of what happens. If you're living with your family members, your parents are paying for your university education, or you're staying with them or whatever, I don't recommend you tell them. Keep it to yourself. It's better for you until you're living on your own and you're responsible for yourself and you're working. Then you can tell people. After I left Islam, one of the biggest shocks I had was how few people actually agreed with the points I was making, which is fine. I mean, I wanted dialogue and I got dialogue. But what I did find is some people did agree with me, but they were scared to say it in public because of the way the Muslim community is. Doubt is not really tolerated in a sense. And so I had a bunch of people message me. I even had some people email me anonymously saying, "Oh, I'm an ex-Muslim. Well, I don't believe in Islam." They didn't say they said I don't believe in Islam, but I can't tell you who I am. I don't want you know me, but I'm not going to tell you who I am. So, I had a few like that, and I had a few people actually call me and talk to me and discuss, and I've made a few friends that are actually ex-Muslim as well, living in my community that are in the closet. Pretty much, you know what? All ex-Muslims are in the closet except me, and pretty much except me. Like I don't actually know personally, I don't know anyone that's out of the closet. Everybody's in the closet. And why is that? Because leaving Islam, you can lose your wife, you can lose your kids, you can get kicked out of the home if you're a kid. It comes with very severe consequences for your livelihood, for your financial health, for your family health, for your mental health. And so people don't leave Islam. They just stay in the closet. So I just wanted, the whole point of making this video is I wanted to say, good job, Muslim community. I mean, like I said, most of them was sad for me. People were not, and some were angry, and I had to, some of them had to stop talking to because they were being very nasty to me on Facebook and trying to, make personal attacks. And, some people, one of my good friends even said, "Oh, you left Islam because you didn't want to pray and you didn't want to fast." Like, really? I left Islam because I didn't want to pray? If I didn't want to pray as a Muslim, I wouldn't pray. I don't need to leave Islam for that. But I mean, that was sad. I mean, that was the one sad thing that happened. A few of my family members were crying. It was so sad. I'm gonna go to hell. Obviously, I don't think there's any such thing as hell. It's just made up, right? But like, yeah, the Muslim community, I wish more people would look at the evidence against Islam, not just for Islam. I wish people would consider all of the evidence, all of it. Things that you don't want to hear. I wish Muslims would look into these things. It's not much to be proud of if you're a Muslim only because you've been only listening to Muslims and Islamic lectures and going to Islamic conferences and basically making yourself feel good about your decision, but not really, evaluating whether it was a good decision. Evaluate for yourself whether it's a good decision by looking at the evidence for and against. And if you still think Islam is true, I'm happy for you. You have passed the test and you have made the best decision for yourself. But if you're one of those people that don't want to look at anything against Islam, then what are you proud of by being a Muslim? How can you be proud of that choice? It's just like closed-minded. And people sometimes, they would tell me like, well, I think asking questions is good because you left Ismailism, but now you're asking too much questions and you left Islam. But like, if I never asked questions and I never challenged myself, I never changed my opinion, I'd still be Ismaili to this day. And according to most Muslims, Ismailis are going to hell. So it's like, well, you can't have it your way. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Either questioning and challenging and introspection is good.